Okay, I want to give you an example too of what we had to contend with when the Germans were shooting. This is what flies through the air in your airplane. You want to take it out there and pass it around? And I probably got in my plane at least 20 times out of my 122 missions. That's what's flying through the air, socks, hopefully not into you and in part of the plane. Well, when Eddie Hoffman left as our flight commander, I had like 70 missions, and the other new guys that come in only had like 50, and suddenly the squadron commander called me in and said, "You're the new flight commander." And who, me? I was, what, 19 years old, 8 months, something like that. And he said, "Yeah, you're the new flight commander." So, that's, let's see, where was I here? Okay, so it all went to my head, of course. I was a big shot now. And notice that picture I'm passing around with the red tail. That almost did me in. I was feeling a little hot one time coming back leading an 8-plane mission that we'd done pretty well on, and decided I'd bomb or buzz this British bomber base about 50 miles up the coast. So here we come in, 8 P-47s right down 50 feet high down the runway of the British bomber base. Only trouble is the British bombers were taking off the other direction at the same time. So when I landed, Colonel Archie Knight, our group commander, called me in. It seemed there had been a British general in the tower, and he tried to find out who had the red tail. And he was calling every fighter squadron everywhere, and he finally found out I was the only guy with a P-47 with a red tail. So Archie Knight told me that I'd done something pretty bad. And he said, "You are hereby court-martialed. I'm the judge, and the jury, the prosecutor. Go out there to your plane, get that parachute back on your back, and walk all the way around this field. Case over with." When I finished my 100 missions, of course I was eligible to go home. I got excited about that and came in over the field and did a slow roll, pulled up. So when I came back in, what'd you shoot down? Did you get an ME-109? Well, that's what the guys typically had done, but we hadn't seen any German aircraft for, I guess, months. So I decided then that I was probably more important over there than I was back in the States. I guess I love my job, mainly. I mean, what, 18 years, what, 9 months old kid wouldn't like being a flight commander, and I decided to stay. Give you an idea, though, about some of the missions we were flying. One, the Germans had a tunnel by the Po River where a rail line was running. There were a bunch of old sheds along the side, and the bridge had been bombed out long before with some piers out in the middle of the river. But we found out at night they had a crane back in that tunnel. That crane would come out, pick up these things that looked like sheds, and they were actually rail sections, and set them on the bridge. They could get their trains through at night and then put it back in order. So when we found out about it, we had a couple of missions scheduled to go skip bomb in that tunnel and destroy that crane. And the 65th Squadron in our group was the first one to go out with time-delayed bombs. Their flight leader went in, and he didn't have flight-delayed bombs. He blew himself up trying to skip bomb from, like, 50 or 100 feet. So fortunately, I was leading the second mission on that, and the guys got on the radio and told me what was going on. So when I went in, I said, "I'm going in high," and try to drop them in there. And we did have the right bombs, but they lost the flight leader of the 65th Squadron because they didn't have what they were supposed to have. I'm talking about the last month of the war now. I led one mission that you could actually call secret. We were briefed in intelligence that a German Fiesler Storch observation plane would be coming across over Switzerland, and they wanted escorted to Florence, Italy, to make sure not only the Germans didn't chase them and get them, or that our guys who didn't know about it wouldn't shoot it down as a German plane. So I led 4-plane mission up there just south of the Alps, and sure enough, here comes this German plane with the swastikas on it. We got down around him, escorted him into Florence where he landed. And another one, I'll get to the exciting part pretty soon. I'm not boring you too much. But another one was when we were briefed that if we ever got into weather where we could not dive bomb the target, to call the radar station north of Florence, radar sign anti. So sure enough, that happened. As far as I know, this is the only time it happened in World War II. We were, all of northern Italy was socked in. There was no way to dive bomb, and here I was with 8 P-47s with each one with 2 500-pound bombs. So I called Auntie. We can't find our target. Do you have a target for us? So they made us take a couple of turns. You know, radar was sort of in its infancy then. Make a couple of turns till they confirmed it was our flight. Then pick up this heading. Pick up a heading of 88 degrees. Exact altitude 9,000 feet. Exact airspeed 220. And correct 1 degree left. Maybe a half a degree right. Prepare to arm your bombs. Prepare to drop. So we were going to do it just like the bombers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop. And everybody was pull their bomb release, and we're just like a bunch of B-25s maybe, which we had over there in Italy. But the only trouble is my wingman was on his first mission, just come overseas. Here he was sitting on me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop. Everybody else pulls a lever, and he goes right through the clouds. So when we got back, he said, "What in the hell were you guys doing?" Had no idea he was supposed to drop them from high altitude. Well, I guess I can get right up to the 14th of April, 1945. That's when I got a call late in the afternoon that the 10th Mountain Division was getting the heck shot out of them. And they needed a flight for close air support. We hadn't done any of that before. Hadn't been a necessity for it. And most of the guys were, I don't know, in town or in their tents or somewhere. I was the only one down at operations. Found 3 other guys that weren't even in my flight. And we took off on that mission. And the other 3 guys now, I've talked to 2 of them that are still alive, realized that myself and them probably, most likely, got the guy that shot Bob Dole in the back. Because I happened to get a DFC for the mission because we did have excellent results, wiping out gun emplacements and occupied houses and good strafing runs. So I could confirm the date. Then the next day, I thought I only flew 1 mission, but I flew 2, and I remember the first one now. The first one was when we, after dropping our bombs, Woody Fears dropped his too low and made Swiss cheese out of his airplane. Barney, who frequently well, he flew maybe 1 mission a week. He was our squadron commander. He was flying as my element leader. He ran through a tree on a strafing run, and Sam Durfee clipped the edge of his propeller strafing the tank. All 3 of them limped home. Barely. There was something in this about Air Force magazine. The rumor was Barry almost got 3 guys killed on the same flight. Now, later that day, the second mission, when I went out to my plane, it wasn't ready. Somebody had been flying it earlier and it got shot up, and I had to take number 21. That was Bob Scheller's plane. My buddy, who had been offering anybody 20 bucks to take that thing up and bail out of it. And my parachute was in for repacking, so I was giving Barney's chute, our squadron commander. We were about the same size. I was a lot skinnier, but same height. And this was a target near Bologna. And when we got up in that area, there was a really strong ground haze, like a fog, and a bright sun up high. And reflecting off that, it was awfully hard to find the target. I picked up the right heading. I was watching my watch carefully. I knew I should be about 2 minutes out when a big kaboom lifted me like 20 feet high, and I guess it was instinct, just pushing the stick back, it went right back down. I'd been hit, but not too bad. I mean, I'd been hit a lot of times, so I didn't even worry about it. I kept watching my watch. I couldn't see the target. I took my face mask off, lifted my goggles because I couldn't see. The last second, through a little hole, looked like a hole, straight down was all you could see, I spotted what I was sure was Vignola. I mean, let's say 99.5% sure. I didn't have any choice. I just called the bomb run, tally-ho, and down we went. About halfway down, probably at 4,500 feet, there was another explosion right in my face. And my instinct was I got to protect my eyes because my goggles were up. And I had to get out of that heat because the fire was shooting like a blowtorch. So I reached up to pull the emergency release, you know, that makes the canopy fly off. But I never practiced that. You don't practice that. I couldn't even find it. So I put my hand on the lever, get twist, to pull back. And it wasn't strong enough going straight down. So I had to put both hands on it. And push against the rudder pedals, and with all my strength, I slid that thing back where it locked in position. Let me show you what I was flying. If I can find it. That's the P-47, 7 tons of scrap iron. Here's the one I actually, let me see, is this the bubble canopy? That's a straight, which canopy is that? Yeah, okay, that's the one I was flying. This is the one with the bubble canopy, the newer models. They weren't littler, that's just the newer model. Well, I figured this out. Any mathematician knows that 60 miles an hour is 88 feet a second. And from 4,500 feet, I had like 10 seconds. And I didn't have my hand in the stick, so I was going straight down. I was trying to claw over the side. And I couldn't break through the wind. It was just pushing me back in. So I felt that stick back in the corner, and I thought, my God, if I can pull the stick back, that'll make the plane climb and slow down, I can get out.